Hey, it's me, Monte. It's Wednesday. We haven't done much. I had a meeting this morning, so I wanted to get some up-to-date fluency assessments and fix up or look at the BPSTs that I've had for them, and then get some like writing examples that I had. So in the morning, they came in, instead of doing their AR on Thursday, tomorrow, I had them do AR today, and I pulled my kids so that way we can go over fluency. And then the one on, I don't do the whole BPST. I just go over the ones that they missed. So I don't do the letter sounds again. If they get all the letters, I skip and I just do the ones that they missed previously. This is my third time doing the BPST, so it was just a really quick look at 4 kids. So I pulled them, they went and sat down and did some reading, and then after I got through the 4, I pulled them again for fluency. They have fluency goals now. And we were doing student monitoring. So we had met in December and we gave them some names of kids that we thought might need to be looked at. And then today they read the list back to me and I added some kids. I added one. And then I also said, you know, I'm not worried about him or her anymore. After that, it was recess, and then we came back in. Math was whole group today. So yesterday I didn't switch. So the girls got time to do ST math at their seats and the boys did Zern. And then we did whole group math lesson. We did lesson 17, which is going over breaking apart. Let me see what the standard or the objective of the lesson was. The objective of the lesson was to add ones and ones or tens and tens, which is exactly what we did yesterday. And so we went over the lesson as a whole group, and I explained to them, we've done this how many times? And they're like, for a whole week. And I was like, okay, for a whole week, which means this is an important thing that they want you to learn. So we need to learn how to do it. So we did whole group on the whiteboards on the carpet. Then we got into our kindness activity for the day. So the kindness activity for the day is a Be Kind bee. So it's a bee, and then they get wings. And when we come back in, they were coloring and cutting before we left to lunch. And then when we come back in, we are going to do I am kind, I can. They're going to draw 2 ways that they can be kind. And then we're going to write a couple of sentences on being kind. And then this will get glued onto here. So I think this one's going to go home. I don't think I'm going to have them glue it so that way it fits in their backpack. So they're going to go home with this and then their kindness bee. So that's going to go home with them. That's our kindness activity of the day. I need to do hearts. They're supposed to talk about being kind on the hearts, and then we have a tree that will be made, and we'll put the hearts all over the tree. That's like for the whole school. So that's what we did. What are we doing? We're going to do a 4-minute phonics for long U with that bossy E, and then we're going to get into our interactive read out loud. So yesterday we just did that part, and then they did a story map. Today we're going to do the retell part, and so I glued retell. Where can I do it? Retell is glued right there, and so we're going to glue it, and for this time we're going to write sentences that go with each one. So I'm going to glue this down, and then I'm going to write sentences that go with each picture to retell the story. And then we're going to get into our reading. Our reading this week is about how things were then and how they are now. So it's going into social studies. I have this old pack. I think it's from 2nd grade when I taught, but it's going over then and now. So we're going to read the story, and then we're going to do a flippy, and it just says long ago and now. And so they'll just look through, and then they're going to do their flippy, and whatever happened a long time ago will go under this side, and then now will go on to the other side. So this is going to bring social studies into our curriculum, so they'll have a grade for comparing how it was back then to how it is now. So that's what we're going to do today after we read the story. So we're going to do our font. We're going to finish our writing, our art, kindness week, and then we're going to get into 4-minute phonics. We are going to do our reading, and we're going to do our sort of then and now. And the thing has like watches, how watches were different, lights, there's a candle, and then we had light bulbs now. And it has microwaves, horse and buggies and cars, and so wood stoves, and they're just gonna cut and put them where they belong. So that's going to be for our reading. It is short day, so we don't have that last recess, and we get out an hour early. I usually don't do groups on short days, and so we're going to do whole group Lexia, which is going to get really loud, but I still need to pull my ELs, and so I'm going to pull my ELs, and we're going to go over long O, long U, and then I need to find my flashcards for those sounds. So I'm going to look for those. Here's my pack from last year, Unit 3, Week 4, and I'm just going to look to see what I can find that will be good for the remainder of this week. Looking through my folder, I didn't have my, that's not the one I want. I didn't have my word lists that I usually do. It's like little flashcards that have the phonics skill of the week, which is long O and long U. I didn't have that, and so I printed that off, and then I am trying to print my book of the week, but it's not letting me print it. It's showing that it can't do it. I'll do it at home, and it's just my mini book of the week that they put inside their baggies. So I'm going to print those from home, and then I'm going to go get my flashcards, and so that's just going to be something else that they can read during the day. So every time I have like a minute, I just show them the flashcards and we read the words that have our sound of the week. I'm going to go grab a quick lunch. It's 11:10. Or it's 11, we come back in 11:10, so it's 10 minutes shorter because it's a short day. We have our 30-minute non-duty lunch, and then we're back in the classroom until 1:45. We'll probably go out for PE, and it's Walking Wednesday, so we'll go out for 2 laps, and then we come back in just so they can get fresh air, and I'll see you after school. I am now the proud owner of a lollipop the size of my head. Hi, how goes it? It's after school. It is 3:20. I'm gonna be going home. I spent my time wisely. This is what I did. 120th day of school. That's what first graders celebrate. 3/6, March 6th. They are going to, hold please. I saw this on Instagram. I don't know who did it. I don't know where, but it came on my feed. They're gonna get a paper bag. They're gonna get a piece of paper, and it says that they're going to bring a collection of 120 things inside their bag. They're going to cut this top part off, and they're going to staple it or connect it to their bag, and they are going to bring that on the 6th or by the 6th, so that way on the 7th, which is our 120th day of school, they will count it. So I'm going to give them a paper that has 12 circles on it, and then they're going to go ahead and do a counting collections. They're going to count by tens, and they're going to put 10 in each to show that they have 120. So I kind of made my own, and that's what they're going to do. So I printed that. Next week we're going to do St. Patrick's Day. Next week we're going to do President's Day. I didn't do anything with President's Day this week. This week's Kindness Week. So I have George Washington stuff that I printed, books. Have those. Did not cut them. I'll cut them next week. And then I have another, these were all free. I'll have to link them below. 2 great presidents, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington. I have this booklet, so they'll get like 1 a day. And then I have a book that goes with Abraham Lincoln. So they'll get Abraham Lincoln one day, we'll do Abraham Lincoln things. They'll get George Washington the other day, we'll do George Washington things. And then they are going to get the one that goes on about both of them. I have a sort somewhere about Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, which goes what we're doing this week, which is compare and contrast. So I'll print that later, and then I'll get that copied. I printed my book that goes over our long vowel sounds of long E, long U, and long O. That's going to be for tomorrow after our phonics lesson. And then I made a quiz for tomorrow, Friday. We do whole group, and so I'm gonna give them a quiz tomorrow. It's not Friday, but it's Thursday, but it's our Friday. And we're gonna see how they can do from decomposing the numbers, and then they have to either add the ones or add the tens and bring it all back together. So that's what this is. It's gonna be a quiz, and then we're gonna correct it together. Using colored pencils, so that way we can see where they messed up, and I'll know where they messed up and how, like, if they got any right, because they're going to do it with a colored pencil on the carpet all together. So that's what I printed for tomorrow, and I'm ready to go. So tomorrow is Thursday, but it's our Friday. We're going to come in. I don't think they're staying along. That would be great, but I don't think they're staying along. We're going to do... We did AR this morning, so we're not going to do AR tomorrow, even though we usually do it Tuesday, Thursdays. We're not going to do tomorrow. We'll come in and we'll just start our day with math. Since I'm treating tomorrow like Friday, they're going to do ST math. I'm going to check how far along we are on Zern. I'm on lesson 17, so I'm going to say lesson 12. I'll say lesson 12. They'll have to be on lesson 12 in order to do ST math. If they're not in lesson 12, they're going to sit on the carpet and do Zern with me. And then everyone else will be doing ST math in their seats, since ST math doesn't make any noise. It just goes ding, ding, ding. And then during that time while they're on the carpet, I'm gonna look at ST math and see if there's anyone that needs help with anything. A little icon shows up if they've done the lesson too much or the level too much, a little icon shows up. So I'm gonna look for those icons. We're going to do that. We're going to read our next story in our reading book that goes with then and now. Today we did that sort that I showed you. Or yes, today. Tomorrow we're going to do some writing, and so they're going to have to draw a picture of something that's then, and then draw a picture of now, and then we'll write a sentence, and then I think I'll have them do one by themselves. And so we'll do one together, and then we'll do one by, or they'll do one by themselves, or they'll have to draw a picture of something that happened then, and then how we do it now, and then they'll write a sentence about it. Or sentences, we'll decide. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. That's going to bring in our social studies. Even though it's reading, it's going to bring in our social studies. Today I pulled for fluency, so I'm going to finish my fluency. They're supposed to read 23 words a minute in winter. This is winter, so we're going to do that. I'm going to give them catch-up time. We really did groups one time, so they only have that one piece of paper that they have to catch up on, and then we're going to do a whole group long vowel activity. I'll find it at home. I'll find it right now. I'm waiting. I have to pick up my high schooler at 4, so I have a little bit of time. We're going to do that, and then I'm going to find another not cause and effect. We're going to find another compare and contrast, because that's what our thing is comparing and contrasting. Brain Pop has one where it talks about sharks and dolphins, and so we did that. We never got to our retell, so we'll do that tomorrow, and then I have to find a kindness activity for tomorrow. We did our bees, kindness bees. They took them home. I have, let me see, just because it has a heart on it, I have this. So I would color it on Valentine color, and then there's math problems. This is doable. We'll see. Maybe that one. Let me see what else I have in here. We already did the monster. I have... These are placemats. You're supposed to do them on color construction paper. Everybody gets one, and then we walk around and write nice things on it. And these are little hearts that my idea was not going to use it. They can write compliments on it, nice things on it, and then we'll go out in the campus and we'll hand them to people. That was an idea. I have a rainbow, so this would get printed on construction paper, different colors. They would get one each color, and then it says be a rainbow in someone else's cloud, and then we can also again write kind things on the rainbow. And then I have, it's a band-aid, that's the writing. This goes with the cover, and it says stick with kindness, and on that, this is the cover. And they put it right, the heart would go in that rectangle, and so they would write something about kindness on that one. I'll probably do that. And then I have my donuts, but I already did my donuts, so can't do those. So I'm probably going to do this Band-Aid one, stick to kindness. So I'll print this. I think we've done, maybe I'll do this one. I don't have any white though. They don't have any white construction paper, so not this one. I don't think the kids would get what compliments are. So I think I'll skip this one. So we'll write a story about sometimes, I'm thinking I'm gonna erase this, and then we're just gonna write like a story about a time that they were kind to someone or someone was kind to them. I'm going to make a copy, and then I'm gonna get another line and put it up here, so that way there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 lines on this paper, and then we'll print 2 of them, so that way they have 2 places to write, and we'll write about a story about some time that someone was kind to them. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go take a copy of this and make one that will fit me better, but they'll write a narrative. That's what we're gonna work on tomorrow. So we'll write a narrative about kindness. I think I'll do this as an activity for math. That will be after my quiz. It's going over addition. We're doing addition. And I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm gonna go visit the copy room again, even though I just came back, and I'm gonna make my copies of my activities. I have this whole stack of things. I went through them and threw away the things that I wasn't using, that I didn't use, that I didn't think I would use. And honestly, there's a digital copy on the computer, so I have no problem throwing them away, because if I want them again, I could just go find them. And then I have this all for next week. I'm gonna go visit the copy room one more time. After the copy room, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna go. I have nothing else to do. Nothing comes to mind. So I'm gonna make copies of these guys right here, and then I am going to jet out of here. Thanks for visiting on this Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow. It's my Friday, and it's coffee day. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's no school. We get Friday and Monday off, so we get a 4-day weekend. High schools get, they call it ski week, even though we don't ski over here, but they get this whole entire next week off. So my husband will be home, but the rest of us have to go to work and school. So that's a little bit of information from my house. What have we done? We came in, we did our AR. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 friends that took AR tests. I'm giving them, I'm not being a very good teacher, but I'm giving them just a little tiny candy. It's like a Smartie, but it's Sour Patch Kids. So that's what they're getting when they take AR tests. I don't make everybody take AR tests because some kids can't take AR tests yet. My 2 friends that are not readers yet, they sit and I either pull them and they're with me and we do things with the alphabet because that's where they're at, or they're looking at decodable books because that's where maybe they can grasp some of those words. What I am going to do is I'm going to do AR every day, and I'm going to start pulling my ELD kids, my ELs, and we're going to do group then. So we read 15 minutes in the morning when we come in, and they can take AR tests because they can read. They just need to practice what they know already. Oh, don't mind me. It's pajama day. That's why I'm dressed like this. They need practice, and so the only way I can give them time to practice is by setting time aside. So in the mornings from now on, they're going to come in. They are going to grab a book box and they're going to start taking reading and then taking AR tests. Like I said, I don't push it. It's the option. I give them time to. And then our school does little brag tags, and so I'm going to start doing those. So since we've been doing it consecutively in February, this will be the first month where I'm going to start giving them brag tags because they're reading and they're getting points. For ours, it has to be 80% or higher to meet their monthly goal, and then there's a comprehension goal, and then there's a point goal. So that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to pay attention at the end of February, and I'll hand those out. After reading time, we did math whole group. I made this. We did this side together, and so we sat on the carpet and we did it together. And then on this side, I said, since your name's on top, this is the side you're going to do by yourself. They didn't do very well. our counselor came in and she did a lesson, an SEL lesson on kindness, because it's kindness week. And during that time, I was walking around looking at everybody's papers, and 2 kids were able to do it. And so at that point, I decided, okay, here's your color pencil. You're going to come on the carpet and we're going to go over them. So they did not grasp that whatsoever. It's a hard concept to get. I'm going to move on, which sounds like a terrible, but I need to move on. I'm going to go to my lesson 17. I'm still in the same module, so it is going to repeat itself, but I know that they can't do it. And we've been doing it for like 5 lessons, 6, 7 lessons. So they still haven't grasped how to decompose the number and then put them back together. So I'm going to keep moving forward, which again, it sounds like a bad teacher, but we're in the same module. So we're still doing the same lessons, the same stuff. So hopefully, I think I'm 17. We have 10 more lessons. So hopefully within those 10 more lessons, I'll test again and I'll see who's grasped it. So even though I'm moving forward, it's still 10 lessons of the same module. So it's the good thing about Engage New York, Eureka Math, Zern, is it goes over it and over it. It like beats it in them. So hopefully in those 10 more lessons, I'll have more than 2 kids that know how to do it. And those 2 kids are in my high group. And they did everything that they were supposed to do. I handed out, we did catch-up time, so I handed out center work that wasn't finished. My friends that finished sat and they did epic, and then I gave 10 minutes for my friends to finish their center work. And then at that time, I was pulling friends to read our phonics skill of the week. So I picked 5 words with the long U and 5 words with the long O, and I was just flashcards, read it to me, and I'm writing down that's gonna be their phonics. Phonics grade for the week. Instead of having them write them down, they're going to read them to me. I'm almost done with fluency, so parents are going to get home a phonics skill of the week grade, and then they're going to get a fluency paper. So I need to finish fluencies and I need to finish phonics. So I have 2 things I need to finish today sometime. It's lunch, as you see, nobody's here. When we come back in, we are going to finish with our phonics lesson, and they have their reader of the week. So this is from the same Christy Menser, and it goes 1 decodable for every week. So that one's gonna go over the long U, the long O, and the long E. Even though we didn't practice long E all that much, everything that I have from Unit 3, Week 4 focused on the long O and the long U. But we'll read that together after we do our 1 minute, after we listen, we'll read that together, and then they will go with somebody and they'll get their baggies and they will read from their baggies. In their baggies, they have poems of the week glued inside a little book, and then they have a whole bunch of decodables and then little booklets for like special things. And so they read from those for about 8 minutes. That's all the time I give them, and they will practice reading again, because the only way that they're going to get better is if they practice. And we've read these things, so it's kind of like a repeated reading, which is also good practice. So we're going to do that. And then I have 2 things for kindness, so we'll see what we get to. Maybe next week I'll have to carry something over, but we are going to do that. That's our phonics. And then we are going to do one of our kindness activities. So one kindness activity I have is the Band-Aid that I showed you. It was a lot of like construction paper cutting pasting, but I just got the Band-Aid portion and I cut out one of the hearts and glued it onto it, and I made 1 copy. So that's 1 copy. This is like the cover. We're gonna write a narrative, so like a story about when someone was kind to them. And then, just like I talked about yesterday, I changed this one to give 1 more line, and then I printed like 40 of these pages, so that way when they write their story, if they need 2 pages, they'll have 2 pages to write on the next page. And then I'm going to staple them all together. So we're going to write a story about when someone was kind, and it's going to turn, they're going to cut it out, and I'm going to staple them, and it's going to turn into like a little flip, and it says stick with kindness. So that's going to be our writing today. but deals with kindness still. And then another kindness activity. I don't remember who it came from, so I'll link it below. She has a lot of, or they have a lot of holiday themed papers, and it's usually like a big construction paper, and then it has circles that go with math, addition, subtraction, I think multiplication. I used this a lot when I was doing second grade because they had 2-digit, and that's what this is. This one doesn't have regrouping, so I think it's okay. So I'm gonna do this with them all together, and then they'll do the bottoms by themselves, and then they will cut out, it's a heart, that's why I'm connecting it to kindness, and then they will glue the circles to the heart. So this is gonna be another kindness activity. So we have 1, 2, 3, then our listening, 4. This is for reading. So we're gonna listen to our news story, and then we're going to together, I think we went over this yesterday, together we're going to draw something from the past and then draw the future now, not the future, but now. And then we're gonna write a sentence that goes with what we used in the past and what we use now. And then by themselves, using their book, they're gonna draw something from the past and then draw what we use now, and then they're gonna write a sentence. They'll kind of have like a sentence frame up here, so they'll just have to copy it and change the words for what they drew. And so this is going to be like my social studies, past and now. We're supposed to compare and contrast, and so that's what we're going to do with this. Today, since it's my Friday, we're going to do Free Play Friday. I have a lot. I know I have a lot. If we don't get to it, I'll just stick it in for next year in my folder and we'll be good. So I'm gonna go eat lunch. Lunch is going to be my coffee and a peanut butter jelly sandwich. So much sugar, but that's what I brought. And so I'm gonna go eat, and I'll see you at the end of the day. It's after school. Did I tell you it was pajama day? That's why I'm dressed like this. I don't go that relaxed on Fridays. We did everything we wanted to do. So let me see, our then and now, our long ago and now. We drew a one-room schoolhouse, little red, you know, when you think of it. We drew that, and then for our now, we drew a 2-story building because our upper grades, which is over there, has a 2-story building for the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So we drew those two, and then we wrote a sentence long ago. We had a 1-room school, and now, that was our second sentence, now our schools have many rooms, and then they had to do their own. So a lot of kids use their books, which is fine. And they drew their 2 pictures, and then I just wrote the prompt long ago, and that was 1 sentence, and then the other sentence was now. So that way they had to write 2 sentences to go with it. It's after school, it's 3:30. I'm gonna have to go. Did I tell you it was pajama day? It was pajama day. I don't dress this relaxed on Fridays. We did everything we wanted to do. We came in, we did our reading of long ago and now. And then they did, there's 2 pictures. One picture was of a 1-room schoolhouse, and then we had a 2-story. We drew a 2-story schoolhouse because our upper graders have 2 stories. And then we wrote a sentence of long ago we had a 1-room school, and then our second sentence was now our schools have many rooms. And then they had to draw their own. And so a lot of them used their books because they couldn't remember. So they used their books to draw the 2 pictures, and then they wrote the sentence. All I wrote on the board was long ago, and they had to finish. And then now was our second sentence starter, and they wrote 2 sentences to go with it about comparing how it was before and how it is now. After that, we watched Books, which is like an animated read out loud. They used to give like a 1-year free for educators. I used mine a while ago. I don't know if they still give it, but they have stuff on YouTube. So we watched one of those, and then it was recess. And recess was PE after, and we came in and we worked on our kindness heart with 2-digit addition without regrouping. So they thought they were awesome because they were doing 2-digit addition, big numbers. And so they worked on that. A lot of them finished and they took it home. Those that didn't finish, I told them just to leave it on their desks. And then Tuesday morning, because we have a 4-day weekend, Tuesday morning they'll come in and then they can finish it while everyone else that did finish, they can do AR reading. I'm gonna do AR reading every morning just to get them practicing and reading. Next week is a 4-day week. We're going to do Unit 3, Week 5, and we're going to bring in President's Day stuff. I didn't do any President's Day this week because we're doing kindness week. I'm gonna go. I have a high schooler to pick up. It's a 4-day weekend. Tomorrow my high schooler and I have off. And then Monday, everyone in the house has off because my husband's also a teacher. He teaches high school. He actually has all next week off. Lucky him. So it was a great week, no problem whatsoever. The kids actually won again. So Tuesday morning, I'll go ahead and pick a new bingo piece, and then hopefully they get bingo so we can change it to February because they're still working on the January one. Thanks for watching. Come back soon, and I'll see you next time.